HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Just into us are the MIAA state tournament brackets, and the Hillers have a lot of playoff teams. In Division 2, the Hiller baseball team earned the 6th seed as they finished the regular season 17-4, and they will host Reading in the round of 32 on Saturday, June 1st at 5 p.m. In softball, the Hiller softball team earned the 15th seed, finishing 14-6, and they will host 18th-seeded Dartmouth in the round of 32. Also on Saturday, June 1st, the softball game will start at 4 p.m. Hiller boys tennis advanced to the Division II round of 16 after a 5-0 win on Tuesday over number 21 Shepherd Hill. Boys tennis moving on to the next round. In Division 1 girls tennis, the Hillers, who finished the regular season 14-5, advances to the round of 32 after a 4-1 win over 38th seeded Diamond in the preliminary round. Congratulations to Hiller girls tennis on moving on. Also, Hiller boys lacrosse earned the 15th seed. They finished the regular season 14-4. They will host 18th-seeded Minnechaug in the Division II round of 32. The time and date is to be announced. And Hiller girls lacrosse unfortunately fell just short of the Division II MIAA state tournament, and they finish with 4 wins and 14 losses overall. Hello, everyone. HCAM News Director Tom Nappy here to fill you in with what's happening in Hopkinton. Welcome to this edition of HCAM News. On today's edition of HCAM News, Hiller Sports wrap up the regular season. Hopkinton Center for the Arts Executive Director Kelly Grill fills us in on the happenings at the HCA, plus much more. But first, the annual Memorial Day services took place in Hopkinton.
As Sarah mentioned, we're going to take this opportunity here to recognize the families of 2 of our beloved veterans we have lost this past year. Well-known veterans who contributed a lot to this town. Well, this time I'd like to start with honoring the family of Russ Phipps. If Marcy could come up here. So Marcy, on behalf of the town of Hopkinton and of course the Massachusetts House of Representatives, we are extremely grateful for your families and contribution to us, to our town, and especially that of your father, who was a very long time resident of town here and much beloved citizen.
A couple words to you today on behalf of my dad. I know he's here today with us, and I know he's proud to be a service veteran. He was never happier than when he was sharing his life and his stories with people about how he went to war with thousands and hundreds of thousands of others to protect a country that we have today that is so important. I know that he's honored by all of your presence today. He's grateful for all that he had in his life as far as friends, family, strangers. Nobody entered his life, but they didn't become a friend or a family member. But most important to him, always, and most important in the end of his life, was the involvement we gave him with the Military Museum in Hudson and the opportunity to speak to anybody, everybody, and especially our youth about how important it is that we have the country we have the freedoms we have, and the importance that you put your life on the line, speak up for your country, and be proud to be a member of the United States of America. I know if he could be here today, his passing words in closing would be, "Stay frosty."
Thank you, Marcy. Hank Alessio passed away recently, and we all miss him so much. He was, by any stretch, the #1 veterans advocate in our town. His projects all over the place, and we are really proud to acknowledge his family here this morning, and if Hank's family could come up to the microphone, please. So Judy and Paul, I have a citation for you also, and I'm pretty sure you have other citations on the walls in your home, but here's one more.
Well, I guess I'm here to reiterate what has already been said between Mary Jo and Marcy, because it's so important with all our young people here to understand the history in this town, particularly the military history, which seemed to be my husband's goal. My husband, Hank Alessio, was a man of ideas, many ideas. I would say, we'd have a conversation and he'd say, "Well, why don't you, or you should," and he would run off an idea. So the idea that came up, I'm only going to bring up, he's had many projects, but I'll bring up a few. After attending the first Veterans Day dinner, his first Veterans Day dinner, he took notice of the late Rosemary Lynch walking around with a large old newspaper with photographs of many of the vets of the past, and everybody remembered who they were and were talking about it and all. For Hank, an idea. So that's when he decided we need to get as many of the World War II veterans noted, recorded, photographed before we lose them, the living that is. But he also collected photographs of Merrill and other historical veterans. It wasn't easy for a lot of them to tell their stories, and a family would come back and say, "We never knew this." So, as they have said, these veterans have to tell their stories. Some of them are just, his stories are very light stories. He wasn't in any heavy battle at Vietnam or anything like that, but there are stories still out there, especially now we want to get these Vietnam stories and Desert Storm and whatever else. He managed to get the help of HCAM TV. They stepped up to the plate, and boy did he bombard them with photographs. There's over 600 photographs out there. And so I have to say, Jim Cousins, thank you. I don't think he's here, but he and his team, there's so many people. You are? Sorry, didn't realize you were there. Thank you. Take a bow, please. You have no idea what he put up with. So this is what my husband would say. If you're a Hopkinton resident, wore a uniform, and served our country in the military, your photo should be in the gallery. And you're invited to the first Friday of the month breakfast 0900 at 28 Mayhew Street, the Senior Center. Over and out.
We recently caught up with Executive Director of the Hopkinton Center for the Arts, Kelly Grill, for the latest happenings at the HCA.
Yes, we've actually been part of the Blue Star Museum program for a couple years now. And what that means is if you have a membership with the HCA, you are automatically entered into the program, and you can attend hundreds of other museums all over the country and receive a discount at their gift shop. We actually have a little gift shop here at the HCA where you can purchase some artwork or pottery or some book of poems. And it also is offering a really special program this summer, free admittance to military families for the whole summer.
That's terrific. And that's at any Blue Star Museum they get?
Any Blue Star Museum all over the country. And if you go to Blue Star Museums, if you Google it, you'll see a list of all of the museums. So you can just bring your HCA card and you will have special perks to get into those museums. It's an exhibit of Joseph Fontina. He has exhibited all over Massachusetts. He has a unique perspective on old family photographs, and he has commentary about how we are, as a society, and are reacting to or interacting through social media. And so that's sort of where the family and monsters comes from. And it's really a striking exhibit. We're very fortunate to have him. So ceramics is super popular right now. We're seeing so many people who are interested in taking our workshops, and there's so few things that parents and children could do together. This is one of them. And so we're really delighted to be able to offer this workshop again. It's very popular, it tends to sell out, where you can come in with your child and make something that you can bring home with you, a mug or a bowl. We also have some really wonderful accomplished artists that are coming in who are doing specialty ceramic workshops, and that's what's happening on Sunday. There's an artist who does carving with pottery, so it's teaching our intermediate and advanced students how to do that technique. This is being led by our Teen Advisory Board. So we have an incredible group of high school teens from Hopkinton and neighboring communities who are part of our Teen Advisory Board. And this is an event that they put on. They bring in teens from all over Metro West, and it's for teens, run by teens. It's an open mic night. Wonderfully talented group of young people. And we are seeing them come in, and they're setting up, they're having, coffee and cookies, and entertain for the child. It's a really wonderful social night for them, but it's also a great way for them to showcase their amazing talent.
I know we got a lot of great musicians around the area.
We do.
Also, I saw there's a movie making class that's going to be happening.
That is one of our most popular summer programs. So we have young kids, teens from all over, middle school age, who come and make some movies, from trailers to some 10, 20 minute and even fuller length feature that they put together in a 1 week workshop. We have 5 different camps throughout the summer, and then at the end of the summer we'll have a premiere here where they can come back and with their families and see their work.
Anything else off the top of your head that you want to get out there?
Well, summer. I can't believe that it's going to be here any minute. That we are, June is right around the corner, and so we are so excited to welcome everybody back. We tried to make a few tweaks this year to make it even more accommodating for our students and parents, and we really want to see our students have fun this summer. So the whole idea and the focus is that they're coming and they're working together as a team, creating and just having a good time. So we hope that people will take a look at our summer offerings, whether it's a workshop or come for our summer concerts. They're starting on June 14th. Every Friday and Saturday night, we have great bands. We will have some food and some a bar outside and some gelato that we're selling. So it should be really a great time to be together socially outside.
On Monday, May 20th, Hiller Girls Lacrosse hosted Westwood in their final regular season home game. Westwood would take the win 17-7 in the final game of the regular season. Hillers were at Medfield and fell 18-2. Hopkinton Hillers Girls Lacrosse finished the regular season with 4 wins and 14 losses. On Tuesday, May 21st, Hiller Boys Tennis battled Ashland on Senior Day. The team ended up getting the win via a sweep over Ashland. Hillers would close out regular season play with a 3-2 win over Medfield. The Hillers Boys Tennis team finished the season with 15 wins and 2 losses. We recently caught up with Hiller head coach Mike Miller.
It's always great when we get the opportunity to have some strength and depth in our lineup, where it's not always the case where we put all seniors in on senior day. We've been fortunate the last few years to be able to do that, and they all pulled through with wins today. So I know for a few of them, today was going to probably be their last time on the court playing some competitive tennis. They went out there, did their thing, got the W for the team, and played really well. So happy for them.
And I understand this team has a lot of good experience, and you went far in the playoffs last year, and I know this team has some big hopes for this year. What are your goals for this team this year, and what are the team's goals for themselves?
Yeah, so you referenced last year. Last year was a great run to the state semis. Completely different team this year. We graduated from where we started last year. 6 out of our 7 players that were starting in the lineup last year. So everybody's just, from the beginning of the year this year on, shuffling for those positions, who's going to be playing where, and really didn't necessarily figure that out until maybe about a week or 2 ago. So a lot of times our best competition throughout the year comes from our practices, and our kids get after it every day in practice. And that's what makes it so fun, is they get out there, they practice with each other, they use each other as training partners to get better with every ball that they hit. And ultimately, the whole team becomes that much better as a result of that. So in terms of goals at this point, right, we haven't really talked about postseason simply because we're not there. But I know it's in the back of their minds. Tomorrow is going to be one of the biggest matches that we play, which is against Medfield tomorrow. That will ultimately decide. I think we've kind of cemented at least the co-share of the TVL championship going into tomorrow. And I believe that Medfield's only loss up to this point is to us. So tomorrow's certainly going to be a big one before we even get into the tournament.
Terrific. And can you talk about some of the seniors that were recognized today?
Yeah, so one of our senior captains, Suraj Sambasavam, has been great for us this year. He's played a combination of third singles and doubles. Ane Pachori, he's been playing at the second double spot, just a steady Eddie, makes very, very few mistakes in that spot, which is really important when it comes to second doubles, does a great job of getting his serves in, which really helped to set up his partner. His partner being Prithvi Venkatesh. And Prithvi is kind of the same way. Very, very great mechanical strokes. Those two play very well together. They pump each other up, they don't get down, and it's just a great combination of tennis to watch. Teddy Campbell got a chance to get into the lineup today. He's had some good matches for us this year. I would think that Teddy's probably one of the most improved players that we've had over the years. He just got a lot stronger this year, got a lot more confident hitting the balls. With a lot more pace on it and keeping the balls in. So I almost wish we had another year with him, just because he's kind of blossomed so late. And then our last senior being Anikeeth Mikulaneni, if I can say it right. So Anikeeth has gotten into a few matches for us, and I think he's won every one of them. So it kind of goes to show the depth of our lineup, where we are this year, and just a great group. And I had referenced it in the senior recognition before. I think their combined GPA is like 4.5. So I'd put that up against any other team that's out there. So when you want to talk about student athletes, that certainly embodies that term, student athlete, there as a group.
On Wednesday, May 22nd, Hiller baseball and softball battled Medfield. Hiller baseball was trailing 2-1 heading into the bottom of the 7th.
And he hits him. That brings him one. Game is tied. Here we go. And the score is game over on a pass ball.
Keenan McDonald scores on the passed ball, and the Hillers win their final regular season TBL battle by a final of 3-2. The Hillers finished regular season play with 17 wins and 4 losses after a 7-3 loss to Lincoln Sudbury at the Rich Pedroli Metro West Daily News Tournament and a 4-3 win over Natick in the consolation game of the tournament. Also on Wednesday, Hiller softball battled Medfield. It was an 8-2 Medfield lead heading into the bottom of the 5th.
This is hit in the air, and that'll drop for a base hit. Another pair of runs around to score. A job well done there by Cammie Trendle. A 2 RBI double, and the Hillers are in business in this game. They do have a runner in scoring position right now. Cammie Trendle at second base. Cammie Trendle with a huge 2 RBI double, and this is driven in the air. It'll drop into right field, and here comes the game-tying run. And this ball game is tied. An RBI double for Charlotte Holden.
Hillers tie the game, bottom of the 6th. The score is 8-8.
Oh, she gets a good piece of this one. Towards the fence. See you later. That's gone. And the Hillers take the lead. Caroline Kane goes yard for the second time today. Unbelievable.
Hillers take the 9-8 lead, and Medfield would be down to their final 3 outs.
The 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air over to center field, and this game is tied. Hit in the air over to right field. That'll drop in. 1 run is in, and here comes another. A 2 RBI single for Kate Rodenhigh.
Medfield ends up pulling off the 11-9 win as they plate 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Hiller softball finishes the regular season with 14 wins and 6 losses and awaits the playoff seedings. On Thursday, May 23rd, Hiller boys lacrosse closed out regular season play with a meeting against Medfield.
Delpati takes the shot and rings it in. Good response by the Hillers. Tim Collins will take it into play. Collins gets it over. Looking for the shot, and it's in. Matt George.
Medfield outscored the Hillers in the second half 6-1 and would end up taking the win 11-5. Hillers finished the regular season with 14 wins and 4 losses and await the playoffs. Our picture of the week, Hiller boys and girls tennis celebrated senior night. Both are still very much alive in the MIAA state tournament. Congratulations on a great season by both teams. Upcoming town government meetings include on Thursday, June 6th at 7 p.m. We'll have the school committee meeting live on HCAM Ed. And on Tuesday, June 11th at 7 p.m., we'll have the Conservation Commission meeting live on HCAM TV. To view all upcoming town government meetings, head over to hcam.tv/gov, or for more information, you can head over to the town website at hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., we'll be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Hopkinton once again delivers for its schools. We love our schools. We're standing in a school. I mean, we invest in our schools. That's what we're known for.
That's what it's for. And so the other little thing that happened today, select board race.
It did. Joe Clark and Brian Herr. And I know that Connor wants to call it unofficial, and it is unofficial.
It is unofficial.
But it was kind of a landslide, Tom. What are the numbers?
All right, well, the final tally was Joe Clark, 1,846 votes. Brian Herr, 1,810. Kyla McSweeney, 931. And Peter Mimo, 864.
So, like you were talking, it's kind of like, 2 and 2, right? Even though Joe and Brian were not in a party together, it kind of just seemed to, if you were going to go for Joe, you might go for Brian, and it sort of turned out that way, it looked like.
And I think town meeting is speaking up again when they first off got rid of the partisan politics. I think they spoke up again today by going with the Hopkinton Sun and the experience, the past experience of leadership over the new people that were supported by a party.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. I mean, this comes, and we've written about this. This comes at a very interesting inflection point in Hopkinton's history. I mean, there is a new town manager to hire, a new deputy chief of police, a Main Street project, a new school to cut the ribbon on. There is the new HR director. I mean, there is a ton of deputy fire chief. There is a ton of stuff happening in front of this select board, and I think it sounds like, and I don't want to make any predictions, or speak for the voters, but it looks to me like the voters said, we want to take a different path, and we need somebody with some experience. And obviously, Brian Herr brings that with this to be his 4th term on the select board. And then we want a son of Hopkinton, as people have referred to Joe, a guy with really deep roots.
Well, I like to call him the young, handsome Brendan Tenstone, son of Hopkinton. And I'm sure my phone's going to blow up now with a text from Brendan. But yeah, they did speak up, and they went strong too on the questions. All the questions that were out there, 8 of them. They went ahead with question number 1 is the records. Huge for this town.
That's good.
Huge for transparency. Huge for the resident that needs to get records.